Hi, the SI meteorologist Paul Dorian here on Tuesday, March 19th. A damp and chilly start to the day here in the Mid-Atlantic region. There will be some sunshine breaking out this afternoon after a cold front passes through the region. Yesterday morning there was some snow in and around the D.C. region with even some small accumulations outside the Beltway to the west of town. Last night there were a few hours of mixed precipitation coming down across Philadelphia. Some areas getting sleet for a couple of hours, other areas even some small accumulations of snow. New York City actually experienced a little bit of heavy snow for a brief time with some small accumulations. All that precipitation turned to rain overnight, and this morning there's some scattered showers, some fog and drizzle, and a strong cold front is approaching the Mid-Atlantic region. Well, before we start talking about the next few days, I thought I'd look at the NAO index. We follow this index, a North Atlantic Oscillation, and then we'll take a look at the Arctic Oscillation Index to give us an indication about the weather conditions perhaps for the next couple of weeks. It has been, it still continues to look like it'll be a cold last couple of weeks to the month of March, perhaps even into the month of April on the cold side in much of the central and eastern part of the U.S. Here's the current North Atlantic Oscillation, slightly negative, and it just goes down over the next several days, and it generally that indicates it could be a blocking pattern in the upper part of the atmosphere to the north across Canada, for example. That tends to push some colder air masses into the central and eastern part of the country, and the Arctic Oscillation we'll take a look at now confirms this signal. Here's the Arctic Oscillation right now, negative, and it really tanks over the next few days down to levels really not seen for several months here. Again, indicative of potential blocking pattern, setting up a strong blocking pattern across Canada that'll help to keep things cold here in the Mid-Atlantic region, probably for the rest of March and perhaps even into April. And there are some indications that next week will be quite a stormy week with not one but two potential storms to deal with. First early in the week and then another one perhaps later next week. Well, let's get back to the short-term situation. Here's the current surface map. Strong cold front now swinging through the Ohio Valley. That'll clear things out around here later on this afternoon and tonight, but usher in a colder air mass for the middle and latter parts of the week. The precipitation right now, just in a scattered form, we'll take a look at the radar in a moment, in the Mid-Atlantic region, but lots of heavy snow now up across New England. Places like southern Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire will get pounded over the next 24 hours with another foot of snow in southern Maine and parts of New Hampshire and Vermont. They, of course, have had a tremendous snow amounts for this particular winter, and it's not over yet, not by a long shot. Here's the current radar loop from the Penn State EWOL website, and there are some scattered showers still across the I-95 corridor, some drizzle and fog, a little bit of mixed precipitation across northeastern PA. All of this up north across New England is in the form of snow from, let's say, Massachusetts, at least northern Massachusetts northward. And again, they will get some significant snowfall across Vermont, New Hampshire, and southern part of Maine over the next 24 hours or so, a foot or more in many locations. Meanwhile, that cold front that's whipping through the Ohio Valley is setting off some lake effect snow showers. Winds are picking up behind that front. Winds will pick up here in the Mid-Atlantic region behind the front tonight and tomorrow, and a colder air mass will move in. Now, as that front approaches ahead of the front this afternoon, it'll help to break up the skies. We'll have some partly sunny skies, and temperatures will actually jump to milder levels compared to yesterday ahead of the front. That warm-up will be short-lived, however, as much colder air moves in for the middle and latter parts of the week. Here's the latest GOES infrared satellite loop from the SSEC Wisconsin website. Lots of clouds here throughout New England associated with this storm, and again, heavy snow right now across Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine, and they'll get pounded over the next 24 hours or so. The Ohio Valley sees some low clouds here, some flow out of the west now with colder air moving in, drier air moving in. That strong cold front will pass through the Mid-Atlantic region later on today, and that'll break up the skies, and this very overcast conditions this morning will allow for some sunshine this afternoon, and temperatures again will jump to near 50 degrees or higher in many parts of the Mid-Atlantic region. Colder air will swing in tonight on strong west to northwest winds, and those strong winds will continue on the day Wednesday. Well, we spoke earlier about potential stormy conditions for next week, perhaps Sunday, Monday time frame, and then later in the week More on that as this week progresses. In the near term, there is another wave we'll have to deal with perhaps later tomorrow night into early Thursday. This is the forecast map from last night's Zero-Z GFS model run for tomorrow morning, Wednesday morning. Pretty basic pattern here of dry, windy conditions here. Colder air moves in behind this frontal system that'll sweep to the East Coast later on today. But let's now jump ahead to tomorrow evening. By tomorrow evening, you can see some moisture gathering together here. There's kind of a secondary cold front situated right about here, and there'll be a little wave of low pressure developing along that secondary cold front that certainly can throw some snow showers back into the Mid-Atlantic region, the I-95 corridor, later on tomorrow night into the first thing on Thursday. Let's jump ahead, in fact, to Thursday morning. And here's the forecast map for Thursday morning. A little bit of snow shower activity, light snow in and around the I-95 corridor, points to the east later tomorrow night into early Thursday, associated with that little wave of low pressure that develops along the secondary cold front. Coldest of the core of the cold air mass is moving right over the Pennsylvania area later on the day, Thursday. So we'll have to watch for this. It certainly will not be a major event, but there can be some snow or snow shower activity in the I-95 corridor later tomorrow night into early Thursday. That'll usher in some even colder air for it later Thursday, and that cold weather pattern will continue through the weekend and pretty much for the rest of the month of March. Stay tuned to the SIWeather.com for any updates later on today. I'm SI meteorologist Paul Dorian.